my last month of senior year in high school, and the ants have begun to wake from diapause after winter. Here is a Formica colony. Formica is a large genus of ants known as wood ants. They are widespread, occurring throughout the northern hemisphere. They are characterized by their large mounds and their ability to spray formic acid as a defense mechanism. Here I have a small colony with 4 workers and no brood. I hope that the queen can resume laying before this worker generation dies. She is a silky black ant, possibly Formica glacialis or Formica subcericea. She is definitely in the Fusca group. You can clearly see the palps that hang from the bottom of her head. They act as the ant's primary organs for taste and touch, allowing them to examine, assess, and guide food before and during feeding, as well as interact with other nestmates. Here is a colony of Camponotus pennsylvanicus, more commonly known as the black carpenter ant. Because of her large size, the queen carpenter ant takes significantly longer to wake from diapause. Here, they are a bit frantic because they are shocked by the light I'm using to film them. I gave them some honey, and again you can see the queen's palps. The colony is in desperate need for energy because their energy stores have been depleted from winter. Here, the worker is carrying brood that has overwintered. Carpenter ants are very cold-hardy because they live above ground in wood, so they must be able to withstand chilling temperatures. They produce an antifreeze called glycerol, which prevents the formation of ice crystals by disrupting their normal hydrogen bonding. Meanwhile, a colony of pavement ants, or Tetramorium immigrans, are foraging on bits of a sunflower seed. Native to the Caucasus region in Central Asia, they have spread across America and are ubiquitous here in the state of Minnesota. They were accidentally introduced to North America during the 1700s and 1800s, likely arriving in the soil used as ballast in the hulls of merchant ships. In order to process the seed, the ants need to break it into smaller bits. The workers use their mandibles to grind up the seed and mix it with their saliva. They carry smaller chunks back to the nest. While the pavement ants are foraging, a small queen of the cryptic ant species Solenopsis molesta is raising her first generation of workers. A cryptic ant species just means that they are small and spend most of their time underground. This means that they're not seen as much. Hence the name cryptic. In fact, I only see Solenopsis molesta at all during the nuptial flight period. A cousin of the fire ant, she is small, about the size of a pavement ant worker, and is tending to her first generation. Commonly called deef or grease ants, this species gets its name from its behavior of nesting close to the colonies of larger ant species and stealing their food and eating their larvae. It is now the second week, and the carpenter ant queen has laid the first batch of eggs for the year. Insect eggs are central lecitho, which means that the yolk is centered rather than off to the side like a chicken egg. You can see the golden yellow yolk if you look carefully at the egg. The worker feeds the queen in a process known as trophallaxis, or mouth-to-mouth feeding. Once again, you can see the palps at work. As she turns around, you can clearly observe her wing scars, a feature shared by all queen ants, with a couple exceptions. As As her eldest daughter begins to age, the colony must work as fast as they can to raise the next generation. They have pulled their resources into this larvae, which has grown a stupendous amount in a week. Soon it will pupate and begin to help its sisters. Meanwhile, the army of payment ants have been continuously growing. Payment ants get their name due to their love for human-made environments. Unlike many other species, payment ants do very well in urban areas. They do not need to go into diapause during the winter. They are highly territorial and will eat almost anything. In the spring, they are often seen engaging in territorial battles that look like giant swarms on the sidewalk. Many of the workers here are young, hence their more yellowish color. The older ones are darker with a brownish reddish hue. With proper feeding and temperature, this colony can quickly reach into the thousands of workers. Even though these ants are introduced and can be pests, research has shown that they can be very beneficial to humans by being a major waste cleaner in cities. Researchers at North Carolina State University dropped hot dogs, cookies, and potato chips around a 150-block section of New York City to see how much food waste scavengers could eat in 24 hours. They found that pavement ants, in particular, were found to be capable of eating up to 6.5 kilograms of waste per block per year, which adds up to 60,000 hot dogs, 200,000 cookies, or 600,000 potato chips across Broadway and West Street. Some researchers think that urban environments themselves may fuel the appetite of pavement ants by speeding up their metabolism. Pavement ants are cold-blooded animals, which means that they rely on the environment to regulate their body temperatures. Cities are significantly hotter than surrounding rural areas due to the urban heat island effect. Cities trap and radiate heat due to dense infrastructure, lack of vegetation, and human activities. This often makes them 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than outlying areas. While building a community garden with my friends, I found this Formica queen lying in the soil. She had only recently burrowed into the ground after a period of rainfall right before. She has already laid her first batch of eggs. The Campanitis queen has also laid more eggs. You can see them clearly here. The eggs are clear with a yellowish yolk at the center. After another period of rainfall, I caught another queen, this time a false honeypot ant, Prenolepis imperis. These ants are unique because they actually prefer colder temperatures and are especially cold tolerant. In fact, they're also called winter ants. Their workers can store large amounts of food, but unlike real honeypot ants, they don't actually have a separate caste called repletes. Instead, some of the workers have larger fat bodies. During the summer, they enter an estivation period and become inactive above ground during the warmer months. This is when eggs and brood are reared. The Formica queen has also laid more eggs. She handles them ever so delicately with her jaws. It was now the end of the school year and I needed to bring the ants home. The summer will bring higher temperatures and allow the ants to continuously grow in population. While it's the end of my high school story, it's only the beginning chapter for the ants. See you next time.